Imagine a vibrant campus buzzing with debate, suddenly shattered by a single deadly shot. On September 10th, 2025, Utah Valley University became the epicenter of a national tragedy, a stark reminder of how fragile our civic discourse has become. This is the story of a day that began with spirited exchange and ended in an act of violence that sent shockwaves across America. The campus was alive with anticipation. Thousands of students gathered, eager to hear conservative activist Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, on his American comeback tour. Kirk, known for his fiery rhetoric and willingness to challenge opposing views, was hosting his popular Prove Me Wrong event. Beneath a tent, Kirk addressed a crowd of nearly 3,000. The atmosphere was charged, a typical scene for a figure who had become one of the most recognizable faces in conservative youth politics. But as he spoke, an unseen assailant, positioned far away on a rooftop, harbored a much darker intent. At approximately 12:10 p.m., a high-powered rifle shot pierced the midday air. The bullet found its mark, striking Kirk in the neck. Instant panic erupted, transforming the lively courtyard into a scene of chaos and terror. Screams filled the space as students instinctively dove for cover. Security personnel rushed the stage, while others frantically tried to aid Kirk, who collapsed moments after being hit. Emergency responders arrived swiftly, transporting him to Timpanogos Regional Hospital. Despite heroic efforts, Charlie Kirk was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. At just 31 years old, one of modern American politics' most polarizing figures was gone, assassinated in broad daylight before thousands of witnesses. For many, this act felt unimaginable: political violence on a college campus. The immediate aftermath plunged the nation into shock and grief.
It looked like his neck, and there's just blood pouring out everywhere.
This wasn't just a crime, it was an attack on the very idea of peaceful political engagement. The question echoed across every news channel: how could this happen here? In the hours following the shooting, the FBI and Utah authorities launched a massive manhunt. Snipers' nests were meticulously examined, surveillance cameras pulled, and eyewitnesses interviewed. Investigators recovered a bolt-action rifle, a towel, and a screwdriver at the rooftop firing position. Scattered nearby were several spent shell casings, each disturbingly inscribed with strange messages. Some referenced anti-fascism, others were mocking, including one allegedly reading, "Hey fascist, catch!" The scene left investigators with more questions than answers about the motive. Initial detentions of 2 individuals in the crowd quickly led nowhere. Attention soon shifted to surveillance footage showing a young man entering the building near the sniper's nest. The FBI released images of a college-age male in a cap and sunglasses, offering a $100,000 reward for tips. Less than 36 hours later, authorities announced a breakthrough. The suspect was identified and taken into custody: Tyler James Robinson, a 22-year-old Utah resident. His own father reportedly recognized him from the FBI images and alerted authorities, bringing a swift end to the manhunt. Robinson was charged with aggravated murder, discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily harm, and obstruction of justice. Prosecutors alleged DNA evidence from the scene matched Robinson, found on the towel and screwdriver. Digital evidence painted an even more chilling picture. On a Discord server, Robinson had allegedly discussed retrieving the rifle, engraving bullets, and preparing for an attack. His roommate corroborated some of these conversations, cooperating with investigators. The inscriptions on the bullet casings became a disturbing centerpiece, hinting at ideological motives or a desire to mislead. Authorities believe Robinson acted alone, with no evidence of a broader conspiracy. Yet, the brazenness and careful preparation of the act raised alarms across the political spectrum. Utah Governor Spencer Cox condemned the killing, warning against political violence in a democracy. President Donald Trump, a close ally, called it an assassination, ordering flags lowered and posthumously awarding Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless.
For Kirk's supporters, his death elevated him to martyrdom, a symbol of the risks faced by those who speak boldly. For others, it was a sobering reminder of fragile civic discourse. Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, vowed that Turning Point USA would continue her husband's work, describing him as a fighter. Even his critics acknowledge the horror of a political figure killed in such a manner. The case of Tyler Robinson is still unfolding. He remains in custody, refusing to cooperate. His motivations, whether rooted in ideology, mental instability, or a toxic blend, will be scrutinized for years. Charlie Kirk's death is more than a single act of violence. It reflects a nation at a crossroads. It forces us to confront how words, debates, and disagreements are increasingly overshadowed by the specter of violence. This tragic event serves as a powerful, urgent warning. It compels us to reflect on the escalating rhetoric and division that threaten the very fabric of our society. Will Charlie Kirk's killing become a turning point, forcing us to reevaluate our discourse and seek common ground? Or will it simply be another tragic headline in an era defined by polarization? The choice and the responsibility to foster respectful dialogue lies with each of us. Let this story be a catalyst for change. Engage thoughtfully, speak respectfully, and actively work to bridge divides before more lives are tragically lost.